if it is taking way longer than you thought, unmarry yourself from the results. Today, I want to talk to you from a simple subject that I am titling Why It's Taking So Long and Why You Shouldn't Care All That Much. I think in life is definitely true for me. It's true for my producer, Matt. You often will have plans or dreams or ideas that you want to go achieve. And for some reason, unbeknownst to everyone down here on this blue planet we call Earth, things don't go according to plan. The timelines end up going out of whack. The plans that you had can end in disarray. You could be like almost every single person who has ever achieved anything meaningful and want to quit almost every other day. I think it can be so tempting as a human being to try something and not see the results in a span of time that you had originally hoped, and not only be tempted to quit, but actually do it. And if you are someone, and we all either know someone or have been this person before who has quit something, you know the emotions that come with it. There's a lot of shame, there's guilt, there is that kind of condemning self-doubt and insecurity that comes up. If you've committed to a workout plan, or you committed to learn an instrument, or if you have committed to start a podcast, or you've committed to start a business, there are more stories of people who failed than there are of those who have succeeded. And I want to encourage you today, if it is taking way longer than you thought, unmarry yourself from the results. Find a way, whatever works for you. I am jealous of Matt. Matt gets to unwind at the beach. I love you, San Diego, but I don't live here. I just record this here. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and my beach is my local library. I like to go and sit in silence in my library for hours with a stack of books next to me, and unwind. I think there's got to be at least one person that's listening to this today, and you have literally thought to yourself, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit this job. I'm going to quit this endeavor. I'm going to quit this relationship. And let's be honest, first and foremost, there are some things that you should quit, probably. There are healthy things to quit, and I'm not an advocate for staying in an unhealthy position. What I am saying is, if you have endeavored to do something meaningful, and you're a couple years, a couple months, a couple weeks, and you have struck on a hard time, welcome to the club. You are in great company. As I have mentioned, every person who has ever tried to do something special, most of the time has run into a situation where it has taken longer than they would have hoped and longer than they would have planned. I have been thinking a lot about one of my favorite authors of all time. For those of you who are followers of Jesus, this would probably sound familiar. And even for those of you that might just be curious or you don't know who Jesus is, you probably heard the name C.S. Lewis. He was a legendary writer, author, thinker, and theologian of the past century. And the story goes, if you're unfamiliar with the Chronicles of Narnia, or the first book in the installment, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, there's actually a new series coming out. Matt, do you know where you heard about that though, right? Because I know obviously there's like a new Lord of the Rings on Prime. I think it's going to be on Netflix in the next few years. But if you're not familiar, amazing, beautiful fantasy story about like young kids who like can go into this magic wardrobe, and it takes them to this beautiful other land called Narnia. Go look it up if you have not heard of it. I don't know how you have not. But he actually came up with the idea for that story when he was 16 years old. Matt, I'm going to give you a guess. How old do you think he was when he began to write it? Matt's thinking. Well, no. So he was 16 when he had the idea. When do you think he started writing it? 40 years old. Matt guessed in his 30s. That's pretty crazy, and it's actually been really inspiring to me twofold. First of all, I would say, if you have a big dream, don't get desperate to make it even happen today. There are some dreams, hopefully you live a very long life. Let's all live into our 70s or 90s. I understand that's not something that everybody gets, but more than likely, you're going to have a good long life. So give yourself some slack. Maybe this is not the season that you need to push for that endeavor. It doesn't mean it will never happen, but I would just encourage you, don't write it off. Maybe the decade or the year or the season or that like fever dream of ideation turning into creation, turning into production is going to come, and maybe that isn't now. But if you have already begun, or if you have already ideated, give yourself some time and give up the idea of it happening perfectly within some predestined, preordained timeline that you wrote down on your notebook or put in your mind or told your friends it would work. So like C.S. Lewis, if it takes you 24 years, it takes you 24 years. If it takes you 24 months, if it takes you 24 weeks, if it takes you 24 days, if it takes you 24 hours, if it takes you 24 minutes, you get where I'm going. There's a scripture in the ancient Bible, the Christian Bible, and it says, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God and leave the timing in his hands. Now, again, if you aren't a person who follows God, that's okay. This is a welcome space for you. I would at least encourage you, leave the timing in the hands of the universe or some power beyond yourself. But my basic bottom line encouragement comes down to this simple idea. If you have a beautiful dream for your life, for your business, for your relationships, for yourself, for your body, or for your future, make goals and try to achieve them, but become unmarried to when the results will finally strike gold. Give yourself a break. If you quit, give yourself the ability to come back, forgive yourself, and most importantly, leave the timing out of your hands, leave the results out of your hands, and find a way to do what you can today to get yourself further to that goal. And maybe all you got today is just the concept of, I'm not giving up today. I'm going to do a little bit more today. Wherever you're at, I hope that this encouraged you. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you so much. We are so grateful that you would take time out of your day. There are so many great podcasts and so much great music and so much beautiful content to watch and listen to. And the fact that you would take time to listen to what I have to say and what we have to say at the radio is truly, truly special. I hope this encourages you. And I hope tonight when you fall asleep or tomorrow when you wake up in the morning that you can feel a lightness because you do not have to be married to when the dream will happen. But you can be married to the reality that it will happen and that you can continue to put in the work without quitting. Thank you, guys. Hey, dude, thank you so much for watching this on YouTube. We absolutely love you. Please jump in and subscribe if you have not already. We have a few subscribers. It's kind of fun. Matt's right here, my producer. I'm going to make him come on. Matt, come over here. Come over here. So we've tried a bunch of different content before. We're going to share this seat because I'm forcing him to. Matt, how can they get involved in the radio, man?
Yeah, subscribe. Follow along the journey. I mean, this is great stuff. Encouraging content. I mean, what else do you want?
Nothing else. What?
This is
No. Don't let him talk. All right. Thank you for jumping on the radio. Radio out.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, bro, that was fun. Yeah. What do you think? I think it was great. I think.
We're just like taking it from all angles.
Dude, I love it.